Hey, how you doing? What's up, Ed?
What's up?
Rookie minicamp.
Very exciting stuff out there. You look locked in.
Taking it all in.
I was interested in the grounds crew on the other fields taking care of the grass.
Oh, yeah. I heard you guys stepped on it and got in a little bit of trouble.
Strody was growing roots out there.
All right. Questions?
What are you looking for in this camp as far as like what can a guy do to get a contract? Like what are the tangible things?
Well, first we want to acclimate the kids who will be here on the 90-man roster. So your undrafted free agents and your rookies that we did draft. We're putting them through a lot of the things that they'll see once they get here. So kind of a phase 2-ish and an introduction to the scheme. As far as somebody sneaking on their way under the 90. You're looking for talent, mindset, the way they approach these next 2 days. Obviously, there's a standout on film. They're going to stand out. We took one last year, if you guys remember. Jackson, he ended up getting that touch on the third preseason game to win it against the Giants. But if they're capable of making the 90, they'll stand out.
Robert, what has this first week with Aaron been like?
It's been good. He's. I've never been around a quarterback quite like him personally, and all his experience, his communication, every play, just talking to the receivers, talking to the backs, his demeanor in the meetings, all of that stuff. I mean, he is he practically is another coach out there. He's pretty impressive.
When you say you haven't been around a court, do you mean his accomplishments or just like his personality?
Well, just the amount of
experience.
Yeah, and how vocal he is with regard, in a good way, and how positive he is with the group, and how much he wants to share his knowledge. It's impressive.
Did that surprise you, that how vocal he is?
No, because I've when we went and practiced with him,
Yeah.
just got to see him for those couple of days, and was impressed back then too. So.
Robert, I'm guessing when you guys had that brief window to talk to him, that you weren't pressing him about whether he'd be here for the spring program. So how nice is it that it seems like he is all in, so to speak, and he has been here already?
I've as a coach, you want them all here all the time, and but just felt like for him, if he's a very smart individual, very deep and very thoughtful, and personally, and I don't know if it's the right thing to say, I was never worried about whether or not he was going to be here. I always felt like if he did want to be here, he was going to be here. If he decided to be a Jet, because he is so competitive, and he does understand that he has to get acclimated to the new building. He'll have to get the receivers acclimated to him, and he'll have to get the verbiage and help get everybody on the same page. So in my mind, you just see a fire in the guy's eye when you're sitting and talking to him. Like, yeah, he's going to do everything. He's coming with he's coming to win, and that's and you can just feel it in his voice. You can see it in his eyes and the way he's going about his business.
What do you think that's done for other guys here, younger guys, or even some veterans, to see a guy like that?
I think it's been good. You talk to Garrett Wilson, and you see his interaction with Lazard, who's been in the system, and Aaron, and Mims looks fantastic, and Corey looks really good, and the backs, the tight ends everything looks really good, and obviously it's OTAs, we don't have pads on, everything is feel good right now, everything's new and energetic, but there's a saying, I think it was a John Gordon saying, where there's a lack of communication, negativity fills the void. Well, at this stage, I'm just pleasantly surprised at how much communication is happening on the offensive side of the ball with it being so new. A lot of guys working to get on the same page.
Where do you see Randall working in that receiving room? Because it seems like he's getting pretty crowded pretty quick with Cobb. I mean.
Yeah, no, it's a really good room. Obviously, I think we get him on the field Monday, and he's got so much familiarity with the system to be able to play all three spots. He's so very smart. Has had a lot of production in his career. So, it's just another person to come in and compete.
Robert, there was a lot of talk with Aaron, with the wish list, and here's Cobb, and here's Lazard and other guys that come in, and it just was there that wish list when Tell us about that. Was there a conversation with, because you would think a guy would tell you, hey, here's some guys I want to play with.
No, you know what? So I'm gonna try to say this as respectfully as I can. I'm not attacking anyone. It's just I do think it's a silly narrative with regards to wish list. And I say that because there's 32 teams in the NFL, and it's common practice for when there's changes, when you have a new coaching staff, when you have people coming in, that you surround those people with people they're familiar with. I had a wish list. Solomon Thomas, Marcel Harris, DJ Reed, Quan Alexander, guys who I've worked with who are very familiar with with our messaging, very familiar with our scheme, who can come in and play. We had it on offense with Laken Tomlinson and Tevin Coleman and guys who had been in the system. Tom Brady goes to Tampa and he gets Gronkowski and Antonio Brown. So it is very common for new faces to want old faces to be able to come in and help accelerate the installation of an entire of a program. So, and it's not just everything's being pinned on the quarterback. It's not just him. Hackett has something to say about it. He loves Lazard, loves Randall. Took Billy Turner with him to Denver. Wanted him here in Green Bay. So, of course, you're going to surround a coach with people who he feels will be able to plant the flag. So, that whole narrative of whatever's what people are trying to put on the quarterback, I think it's tired, but it's common practice in the NFL.
Is Mercedes Lewis a possibility?
You never know.
Robert, you guys declined Makai's fifth-year option. I'm curious if you think that could be some added motivation for him going into his fourth year.
He looks good. He looks fantastic, really. But I don't know. It's probably more of a question for him, But I don't get into the whole business part of it. But just find a way to get better every day. But he's attacking this offseason the right way, and I'm excited for him.
Is that an open competition with Makai on the right side with Max, or is he competing on the left side with Dwayne? I mean, where do you envision Makai?
We're going to play our best five. So there's. You can assume AVT is the best right guard. I'll say that, and Laken, and then at center and our both tackles are. It's going to be a really cool competition on the entire offensive line.
Going back to the wish list thing, how do you balance as a coach? Obviously, you want to bring in guys that your other coaches and new players are comfortable with, but making sure that what you just said, having the best guys out on the field, and how does that get, like when there's like a tie or something, and between the two players or something, how do you kind of work all of that out as you move forward?
Moving forward,
yeah, obviously not making.
Yeah, no. At the end of the day, the best 53 will be on the football team, and that's so it's, and then the best 11 are going to be on the football field when it comes time to snap the ball. So, but at the same time, the reason why we're excited to bring those guys in is because they stand for everything we believe in. You look at Alan Lazard; he came in as an undrafted free agent, and he's got all this unbelievable ability to him, and he's made himself. Randall has such an amazing amount of experience. Billy Turner has so much experience, but they're internally driven individuals who just want to win football games, and they love the game of football, and it's like, well, why wouldn't you bring them in and to help accelerate and plant the flag and echo the message that Nathaniel and his staff are trying to accomplish.
Robert, what do you see as Corey Davis's role this year? So I mean, you spoke glowingly of him at the owners' meetings. You just brought him up again unsolicited a couple questions ago. When this thing goes into the regular season, where do you see him performing, assuming everyone's healthy?
Again, the cool thing with what Nathaniel's bringing and this whole system is there is a lot of versatility amongst the receivers in terms of being able to play multiple spots. But the one thing, when Corey got hurt last year, we got small pretty quick, if you guys remember, and felt like this year bringing in Allen and having Corey, we have a lot bigger personnel now. There's a lot of grinding that goes on in the run game, the red zone, all those big boy catches that happen off the play action pass. Those things where Allen and Corey excel, but it's not just to limit them to those. We're going to see how they play within the system over OTAs and training camp, and their roles will be defined more. But to have him, you can never have enough receivers, and to have a guy like Allen and Corey, and then you add Garrett and you add McColl with all the speed and all the competition that's going to happen at that 5-6 spot, Randall and all that. It's a really cool group of receivers, and excited to see how it shakes out.
So you're operating. I mean, he will be on this team this year, Corey.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be on the team. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Robert, you were talking about Aaron, on the field, what does it show you going to the Knicks games and the Rangers games, the Sauce and Priest, I know you were at the Knicks games as well, but just kind of him sort of embracing that role?
No, I think he's soaking it up. You know, it's New York is different. Obviously, I don't want to speak for him, but I think deep down he's a big city guy at heart, and I think he's just been enjoying it. I know he was in absolute awe of Madison Square Garden, which I was too when I first went, and it's probably the coolest stadium in all of sports. But he's embracing. He's been enjoying all of it. But he is cool in the sense of when he is in here, though, it is football, and so it's been good.
When Aaron brought Allen to the game, and then he brought Sauce. I mean, they had their feet on the floor. I think you were in the nosebleeds. So what,
No, I was just gracious to be in the stadium, man.
what do you got to do to get one of the seats?
Win a few more games.
Yeah.
Robert, I know you've only had one practice with him, and it was a light practice. What's been your impression of Will since you found him in the building?
Will
McDonald.
Oh, I'm sorry. So he is long, big, everything that. I mean, a lot bigger than when you look at his height, weight and then you see him, you're like, damn, he feels bigger. And there's no doubt in an NFL program with an NFL training table, he's going to get another 10, 15 pounds. He's going to be pretty cool, man. I'm excited to work with him.
There's an undrafted free agent from Dearborn, Hassan. Is there a backstory there?
No, yeah, hometown kid. See if he can make it.
Oh, good.
You familiar with Jessica Alba?